Hello YouTube world, Mac Daddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survivalist coming to you from Walsenburg, Colorado. Decided to do a video on why I make videos on the internet and put them up on YouTube. Another fella I watched the other day, and I'll have to put it in annotations. I'm not at home, as I've already stated, stuck in the truck for the weekend. But he put up a video on why he made videos. And I enjoyed it so much that I decided to do one of my own, not to compete with his, because it's each his own. You know, we all have our different reasons. I think the biggest inspiration is it's another creative outlet for me. I do a little bit of writing. I'm not any good at it, but I enjoy doing it nonetheless. I also do a little bit of drawing. I do a little bit, very little bit of woodwork and projects like that, a little bit of mechanical work. But it's another creative, a form of creative expression. Okay? And when I was a kid, me and my brothers and my friend Uncle Fester and a lot of our other friends, we all collected comic books. G.I. Joe, X-Men, The Incredible Hulk, blah blah blah. You know, I have a video on here on what is your favorite comic book heroes or hero. But we also did drawings. We made up our own characters. We sort of did our own comic books a little bit, but we always had stories behind each of these characters and what they could do and their capabilities and all that. And you know, we did that for years, and still sometimes I still draw a little bit. I don't happen to have any of my current art in the truck to put up to show you. Maybe I'll do that roll that into another video. But it's another form of creative expression. That's one reason. The second reason, I'm going to have to give a big, huge shout out to Nuttin Fancy and his channel. Somehow, I think the very first video of his I saw was the comparison of the shotgun, combat shotgun comparison, where he did a Mossberg 590, a Winchester 1300 Defender, and a Remington 870, and he did a comparison on, you know, the differences in the shotguns, did a tabletop review of each one, and how well he liked them. And that was his very first videos, and I got hooked instantly on his videos. And if you don't know who Nuttin Fancy is, I'll put it in annotation so you can understand it's, you know, how to spell it and all. Go to his channel, look it over. The man's got several hundred videos. I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 800 videos, but he does tabletop reviews on guns, knives, tents, freaking sleeping bags, you name it. I mean, anything to do with outdoor survival. He's got one called the Sheepdog Concept that I absolutely agree with 100%. He's got one on community and a without rule of law situation. How to rebuilding the community and sticking together and helping each other out. I mean, he's just got tons of videos. But that inspired me. Now, when I was in my teenage years, I had a bunch of military gear, canteens and straps and wear belts and fanny pack and all this kind of stuff. And I had me a little kit together, and I still had that stuff up to the point where I started doing my own YouTube videos. But I realized very quickly I did not have nearly enough. Okay, and I've taken a lot of his advice. Some of it I haven't been able to follow for the simple fact is money. Okay, the truck I'm sitting in, it costs a lot of money. I just spent $1,300 and some change on my new tag for 2012. You have to buy permits, tires, brakes, and all this kind of stuff. I mean, here very soon I've got to spend about $3,500 to put new tires on the trailer. Okay, new brakes. So a lot of my money that I make is not mine, it's my truck's. And the truck's got to come first, otherwise we don't make any money, period. You know, I had to go back to working as a low-wage slave for another trucking company and be a company slave, and that ain't going to cut it. So Nuttin Fancy is probably one of the biggest ones, and I think he has the best laid out philosophy. But he's not the only one. Such00 on here, he has a great setup. There's many more. You can look down in my subscriptions and you can go through there and you can see all the different folks that I subscribe to, and I try to watch as many of them as I possibly can that I've subscribed to. But I mean, there's some of these guys put out 10 videos a week, and it's impossible to go through them all. And it's just like Nothing Fancy. I've already got my primary knife, my K-bar, or my Ontario, either one of those, depending on what gear I'm carrying. I've already got my main handguns, both 1911. I've got my main shotgun, Mossberg 590. I have my main rifle, M1A. And so I don't really watch a lot of reviews on AKs. I don't watch the reviews on AR systems or any of the, you know, different things of that nature. But he's got a lot of great videos. And he inspired me to get my butt back in gear and start preparing to, you know, in case of a without rule of law scenario, a natural disaster, or I'm out here in the middle of nowhere in the desert in the winter, up in Wyoming somewhere, the truck breaks down at 70 below zero. If you're not prepared, you're dead. Alright, I saw a guy out here yesterday and it was like 16 degrees here, walking inside in shorts and a t-shirt. Now, in civilization, when you're right there and your truck's running and your heater's working fine, that's fine. But what happens if your truck goes down and your heater goes down and that's all you got? Or you got the bare minimum, okay? You're dead. You'll freeze to death. 70 below zero, it'll take 5 minutes with a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. You're dead. You're not hurting, you're dead. Okay? In the graveyard, something I know a wee bit about. I worked at Crosby Funeral Home Vault Company and Monument Company in my hometown of Alma, Georgia for 2 years before I became a truck driver. And I know a wee bit about the death industry. You're dead. Alright? You're a popsicle. Same goes in the summertime out here in this desert. 120 degrees, you don't have water, no way of communicating, no way of getting water, you're screwed. Okay? So his USK videos were inspirational. Urban Survival Kit is what a USK stands for. And that was a huge, huge influence on my backpack that I carry in my truck every day. See if the camera can get it in here. Alright, there it is. That's the canteen on one side, and there's a canteen on the other side. And in the background there is my tent. Alright, that's in the truck with me every day. Let's see if I can get the zoom back out. Alright, get the zoom back out, set it back up. So I credit Nothing Fancy with getting me motivated again to do what needs to be done to save my own life in a situation like that. Okay? And what I have now is not adequate for the job, but it's what I have now. Okay? And so therefore I have a chance to survive, a much better chance to survive. I have water purification tablets in there. I have the ability to start a fire. I have a limited amount of food, but I do have it. Okay? That's about more than a lot of folks can say. Tools, saw, knife, all these kind of different things. I've got it in my gear, in the truck. And when I get out of the truck on the weekends, I take that gear with me in my personal vehicle. I go on a long trip, that backpack right there is with me wherever I go. Now, if I'm going out for an extended stay, I got a humongous backpack that I carry. And I credit all this, the inspiration for it, to Nothing Fancy. Okay? And also the fact that I've always been leaned toward being self-sufficient. Otherwise, I would be an owner-operator, I don't think. But that is the reason I started making the videos. It is to give progress reports to my friend Uncle Fester and my other friend Sergeant Slaughter down in Middle Georgia, and to my new friends here on YouTube, Dan the Man 114, ACS Blue Eye, Dan Zach 44, and so many other folks out there that watch me on once in a while. I hope they enjoy the different videos, but I'm in the learning process. Nothing I say you should take, everything I say on here you should take with a grain of salt. And the reason why that's at this point where I'm at now. But next week I may be at this point, next month at this point. So I'm learning, and I'm learning, and I'm learning. I'm buying new gear, trying out stuff, because what I got now is, like I said, the bare minimum. The bare minimum. And I try to learn new skills, learn about edible plants and such as that as I go along. And hopefully as time goes on, I can share more with you, the viewer. And I hope you'll enjoy my videos in the future. Plan to do a lot more on trucking as time goes by. I got to get a better camera. This camera that I'm using now is called a Small Wonder RCA. The audio is not that great. Video is pretty darn good if you got the correct lighting. But anyway, enough of that. This is Mac Daddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survivalist. Y'all have a good day.